What is up, yo? It is your boy Winston Wolf. I'm back. I just want to do a quick review before I head off to work. Transformers: Rise of the Beasts. Maybe the first thing I liked this year that I did a review of. I think there might have been something else, but pretty much everything else that I've seen that I've done a review for this year. For the two people that care, I haven't liked anything, and I've been disappointed in that fact. I like Guardians, but I didn't do a review for that. But yeah, Transformers: Rise of the Beast. The first thing that stuck out to me, pause, was whoever did this is a fan of '90s hip hop, and to me, that's the best era of hip hop. The best era of music, period, is in the '90s. New metal, all that stuff. I still love it to this day. But within the first 15 minutes, you get Wu Tang Cream, you get pause, you get SWV Anything, which is from the soundtrack from Above the Rim, and the soundtrack was put out by the mighty Death Row Records, the greatest record label of all time. And you get Represent by Nas. That's just in the first 15 minutes. And also, you get the female cop from New York Undercover. If you grew up around that time, you knew how much, especially if you lived in the hood, how big New York Undercover was. That was the only cop show we liked. Someone's wearing Walker wear in there. If you don't know what Walker wear is, look it up. But I like that because I remember seeing the commercials and knowing it was set in like '94 in New York. Now in the commercials they were playing DMX, and I was like, off top, I was like, man, I'm already having problems with this because nobody knew who DMX was in 1994. Probably unless you lived in Yonkers and he was robbing your house. That's about it. But this is following the path of Bumblebee, of movies where when it came out, you had your arms crossed, you're like, great, another. It's not a movie by Michael Bay, but we're still in this legacy of, the quality of these Transformers movies going down. And honestly, looking back in retrospect, I feel like with the first movie, yeah, we were genuinely curious and wowed by, how everything looked. But from that point on, it was just we just expected garbage. So any little thing that was good, we thought it was good with those Michael Bay Transformers movies. And I feel like unfortunately that dragged over into people's feelings with these, starting with the Bumblebee movie, where you were just like, great, this is just another. And then you were pleasantly surprised. It was a good movie, but I think you were more relieved and happy being a Transformers movie or Transformers fan of these movies and the whole franchise. You were just more relieved that the Bumblebee movie just wasn't absolute garbage, and that you liked it. So it's a combination of being good, but you know, uh, just not completely letting you down. And with this movie, it's the same. But I mean, I feel right now, just watching it, it's a good movie. Also, the guy, the main human star, I don't know his name, but he was in that garbage Hamilton. I guess that's how he got his start. And anybody that knows me knows I hate Hamilton because I got bamboozled when I was going to college and being a theater major and having to be around those homeschooled weirdos all the time and those goofy teachers. They would always try to break through and like reach to me, so they would be like, wait, so this guy likes hip hop. Hamilton is hip hop. I'm going to talk about Hamilton to him. And I would just be like, God, please, no. It's the cringiest garbage. But I have not liked anything Hamilton, Lin-Manuel, whatever that dork cornball is. I'm glad he got bullied by, who was it? Immortal Technique, that rapper bullied him in high school. Good, you deserve it. Lin-Manuel, dork, he's a cornball. But the main human character, the Puerto Rican dude, that teams up with Mirage. Mirage is played by Pete Davidson. Also, while I'm rambling, Pete Davidson, the first thing I've liked him in ever, besides when he used to go on Opie and Anthony. But the main actor that teams up with Mirage, he actually did a good job in this. And I know he's the villain in, what show is it? There's a Marvel show coming out. And he plays maybe Daredevil, maybe something. And I was like, great. If Disney isn't already ruining all the Marvel stuff, now we got this dork. But after seeing this, I mean, the show might be garbage when it comes out, but I'm confident he can do a good job. He actually surprised me with, like, I liked him in this. It wasn't just tolerable. I liked him. But I feel like they threw a little too much trying to already set this universe up. Like, I forgot what they called, like, the animal Transformers. They didn't even call them Autobots or, whatever their race is. They're, like, a totally different race, but just so happen to be Transformers. Then they have Unicron, which I'm sure that's not a spoiler alert if you haven't seen it. I'm sure you know that Unicron is in this. But he's got his own, like, minions that are, like, a whole nother race, but they're all Transformers. So I felt like maybe they could have did a little something different. I'm sure with the comic books and other things that I'm sure there's other, because there's like those three-faced creatures that created the Transformers that are like organic mixed with machine and stuff like that. So you could have did a little something differently than just introducing different kinds of Transformers and then trying to call them different things. Again, Pete Davidson as Mirage, I liked him playing that character. Like it was good. I was shocked. I was shocked at how much I liked a lot of this stuff. One of the few problems though is maybe about starting 39 minutes like to the end. It starts getting into the problems where the Michael Bay movies did, where you just get a lot of action with a lot of like no-name generic robots. So it's just a lot of meaningless action. You get confused sometimes. You're like, wait, who's hitting who? Okay, this, and then you really don't care who they're fighting because you already know that these, this army of disposable enemies. Like you don't care about them. You just met them. You know they're there just to get punched in the face and beat down. Some people might like that, but I think after 5 Michael Bay Transformers movies of this, I think they needed something else with that. But anyways, that's just like another nitpick. I would have rather had them fight like every individual Autobot, because you only get like 4 main Autobots. You get like Mirage, Optimus Prime, the motorcycle chick, and like one or two more. I would have rather had them just face off one-on-one with individual enemies. I think that would have meant more. I think it would have built the villains up more, because in the future when you bring in a whole army of them, if they had problems fighting like 5-on-5 and then they're outnumbered, you're gonna be like, oh man, But I don't know. That's just me. Again, whoever did this, you get a lot of Biggie, Black Sheep. You just get a lot of good 90s hip-hop, a lot of 90s references. There's good like Easter egg references. They make a reference about Marky Mark leaving the Funky Bunch to be an actor and how weird that is. Things like that. It's just cool little things, and it reminded me of back when Marvel could actually make a tolerable movie. They should get whoever directed this to do a lower budget Marvel movie that doesn't have a lot of expectation. Because I think when they have Marvel movies, and I'm kind of digressing here, but when they have Marvel movies that have a lot of like expectation, and the movie hinges on a lot of the story of movies coming up, or like a big Avengers movie, they kind of hamstring the director in the storytelling because they have to follow certain parameters. But I think give this director, some kind of lower known Marvel character and just let him do his thing and let the scriptwriters do their thing. And I think you can slowly build Marvel back up. But I honestly think at this point Marvel just needs to be utterly destroyed just from the ground up, just to even be credible anymore with real fans. So I'm going to give you a spoiler with the end. So in the very end, the main character, his brother has sickle cell, and throughout the movie he's having trouble paying the bills and getting his brother help. So that's why he goes on the mission with Mirage, because Mirage is like, if you help us find this key thing to get back to Cybertron, then I'll pretend to be like a Lamborghini and you can sell me and you can get the money to help your brother. Over the length of the movie, they become friends, and he pretty much becomes, I'm talking about the human, becomes a member of the Autobot team. But in the very end, this government agency asks him to work with them because they know about the Transformers. They know about what's going on. They know there's going to be, an upcoming battle, something, but they want him down because he's cool with them. And they give him a card. When he flips the card over, it's G.I. Joe. It's the G.I. Joe logo. So, and actually, because of this movie, how good the movie was, I'm actually hopeful for this. Because for years they've been talking about this. With Josh Duhamel, or whatever his character was, I guess in the G.I. Joe Transformers crossover comic books, and maybe cartoons, that character that Josh Duhamel played, and I think Tyrese's character also, they were characters in those crossovers. So they have been talking about doing this with those characters forever, with G.I. Joe Transformers. Now they're finally doing it, and I'm actually interested, if they're going to keep the quality of Bumblebee in this up, and they're going to keep, honoring the past, and you can see them slowly trying to get away from the Michael Bay designs, to the original G1 designs, which is what everybody wants. And also, I heard rumor that they're going to have a G1 movie with just Transformers set on Cybertron, no humans, which I really hope so. I hope that comes to be. But And also, no, I was waiting for an after credit scene. There's no Megatron, and I'm not mad at that because they gave us Unicron, so we still got Megatron, we still got Galvatron coming, we still got Pause, we still got Soundwave, who's my favorite, and I hope they keep the G1 design that we saw in Bumblebee with Soundwave. But everything looks good. If you want to go see a movie and you don't mind dropping $60 or however much it is to take you and your girl and get popcorn and everything, go see this. It's pretty, if you haven't seen Guardians, I would go see Guardians first. And if you wait a while until Flash comes out, go see Guardians and Flash first before this. But this would definitely be third place so far as things that I saw. Hey, because I did not like Across the Spider-Verse. I'm sorry. Thought it was underwhelming. Thought it was another Sony miss. But Transformers Rise of the Beasts, 0 to 10 dog bones, I give it 7. That's a good 7, too. Anyways, this is your boy Winston Wolf. I gotta head off to work. I'm out.